Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
The Ohio GOP votes on their endorsement. Good evening, I'm Abby Grisey. Thanks for joining us. The Ohio Republican Party is endorsing Attorney General Mike DeWine for governor. DeWine won the endorsement over Lieutenant Governor Mary Taylor in a 59-2 vote today. In a speech before the vote, Taylor said DeWine was a shill for the entrenched special interests. DeWine said his campaign is about building a better future for Ohio by fighting the status quo. The endorsement means DeWine and his running mate, Secretary of State John Husted, will appear on party slate cards delivered to Republican voters. Some Ohio University students will have to find a temporary home after a fire last night. The Athens Fire Department responded to the Delta Gamma sorority house last night around 6:20. Cooking oil ignited, which caused the oven fire. The fire caused smoke damage in some of the vents, filters, and walls, and the house will be treated for that smoke damage over the next 2 weeks. 34 residents will have to live elsewhere during that time, and OU is providing temporary alternative housing. A stranger's act of kindness helps a single mother and daughter after a devastating fire in Mount Airy, Ohio. Brittany Richardson and her 9-year-old daughter Zaire jumped from their apartment's second-floor balcony during an early morning fire. The Richardsons lost everything. Kristen McKenzie says she immediately knew she had to do something. She gave the 2 gift cards and a stuffed animal.
Not too often that I feel like people help, and for her reaching out to 2 people that she doesn't even know just warms my heart.
9-year-old daughter Zaire, after seeing their story of survival on WLWT News 5, review apartments to escape the early morning fire.
The Richardsons are staying with family while they search for a new apartment. They say they do plan to stay in touch with their new friend, Mackenzie. A 19-year-old man is facing charges for buying a car with fake money. Police charged Hunter Beckett with a felony of theft. Beckett met with the seller in Nelsonville to complete a Facebook sale of a Jeep. The seller realized the money was fake after Beckett left. Police recovered the Jeep and arrested Beckett 3 hours later. The judge set Beckett's bond at $5,000. An iconic Athens business is up for sale. The Burrito Buggy was put up for sale on Facebook earlier this week. The owners are asking for $65,000 cash. Some of the things included in the sale are the buggy itself, a Ford van, recipes, and of course, a local fan base. The Facebook post has been shared over 2,500 times since Wednesday.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm forecaster Adriana Davies, and today in Athens we saw some beautiful above average temperatures for this time of the year, and those temperature trends will continue into next week. But right now in Athens we're looking at 46 degrees, a warmer evening with some sun and clouds mixed in until that sun sets later tonight with winds from the south at 0 to 5 miles an hour. Our overnight low for Athens is 38 degrees under cloudy skies. This is above average for this time of the year, and winds will be light and variable. As for our tonight, hour by hour, we're looking at some mostly cloudy skies, 41 by 8 p.m. By midnight, we'll see 40 degrees and some clouds by 4 a.m. and 40 degrees as well. Tonight will remain mostly cloudy for the area, but we will see some rain start to move in into tomorrow morning. And I know that rain will ruin some morning plans, but Abby, I hope you don't have any tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully people can stay dry this weekend. Thank you, Adriana. The Ohio Supreme Court is upholding the death sentence for a man convicted of killing 3 men. Richard Beasley was convicted of luring victims with promises of jobs on a southeastern Ohio farm. The court rejects his argument he was denied a fair trial. Beasley's lawyers argued a judge rejected requests to move the trial because of publicity, and there wasn't enough evidence to convict him. The attorneys plan to appeal again. Prosecutors have re-indicted a former Ohio model accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill the mother of her 2 stepdaughters. Tara Lambert was sentenced in 2016 to 7 years in prison after she was convicted of conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. An appeals court overturned her conviction in 2017, saying there was a paperwork error in her original indictment. The 35-year-old Asheville woman is scheduled to return to court Wednesday for her arraignment on 2 charges of conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. The federal government had a quick shutdown today. However, both sides were able to come together for a budget deal. This story and more when Newswatch returns.
We are here for the same reason, although I suspect we hope for different results.
You know what they say, yeah, the wicked get no rest.
I do not admire you for this.
Looking at my heart, in a place,
It's always sex, isn't it?
got so much to lose,
Love.
so much to prove.
For judgment.
We are not amused.
God.
Trouble on my left, trouble on my right. I've been facing trouble on my side.
This is how you'll be a man.
Must be love, won't you come in through?
Are you becoming squeamish?
Oh, God, your mother's here.
The lesbians. They're getting married. You're having a great time.
God, don't let me lose
Yes.
my mind. I've been getting used to waking up.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward!
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky is the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
The fallout continued in the West Wing today over abuse allegations surrounding former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter. President Trump expressed sympathy for Porter Friday, but did not mention his alleged victims. CNN's Pamela Brown reports.
President Trump publicly responding for the first time to abuse allegations against former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter, who resigned Wednesday.
We wish him well. He worked very hard. I found out about it recently, and I was surprised by it.
The president making no mention of the women who accused Porter of verbal and physical abuse.
It was very sad when we heard about it, and certainly he's also very sad. Now, he also, as you probably know, he says he's innocent, and I think you have to remember that. He said very strongly yesterday that he's innocent.
The president's focus of Porter's claim of innocence clashes with the explanation at yesterday's White House briefing that things changed after these photos surfaced.
What was so shocking that had changed?
I think the full nature of the allegations, particularly the images.
Meanwhile, sources telling CNN there is growing frustration among White House aides and Trump allies over how Chief of Staff John Kelly handled the abuse claims against Porter. Sources say Kelly and top White House aides knew for months, but never started an internal investigation. Sources say Kelly told White House staffers today he took immediate and direct action when he learned of the allegations. On Wednesday, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said Porter had resigned and would temporarily stay on board to ensure a smooth transition. Then yesterday, Deputy Press Secretary Ross Shaw said Porter was terminated and defended Kelly.
I know there's been some reports about the chief of staff. He became fully aware about these allegations yesterday.
Kelly sending a memo to White House staffers Thursday night addressing the allegations made against Porter, writing, "I want you to know that we all take matters of domestic violence seriously." Also today, there are increasing questions about White House counsel Don McGahn's role. In early 2017, Porter told McGahn his ex-wives may present potentially damaging information during his FBI background check. One of the ex-wives, Jenny Willoughby, telling CNN,
they were asking me to describe his character, asking me to describe anything that I thought might be problematic in his position. And they did ask what was the nature of our relationship, and they did ask if I felt that he would be different professionally versus privately. And I was very candid and frank and detailed with them about my marriage.
The FBI sent its preliminary report last spring, including the details provided by the wives to the White House. In the fall, Porter was interviewed by the FBI for a second time, and after domestic issues were brought up, he informed McGahn of the interview. McGahn was told by the White House Security Office in November that there were, quote, domestic issues in Porter's background. Kelly was also made aware of Porter's issues then. And in November, Porter's ex-girlfriend contacted McGahn, telling him of the abuse allegations and expressing concern about Porter's romantic relationship with White House Communications Director Hope Hicks.
Rob Porter is the 17th top official within the Trump administration to leave or be fired. Two historical political moments were seen in South Korea today. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence sat near the sister of North Korea's leader at the opening ceremony of the 2018 Olympic Winter Games. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of Kim Jong-un, sat in the row behind Pence. She is a member of the country's senior body of North Korea's Communist Party. Plus, she is the first member of the North's ruling dynasty to visit the South since the end of the Korean War in 1953. We'll have more on the Olympics later on in the show. There was a short-lived government shutdown today in Washington. Congress worked overnight to pass a spending bill to keep the government open. It passed with votes from both sides of the aisle. Kristen Holmes has the latest in this report from Washington.
Bipartisan deal ready to go.
I don't know why we are basically burning time here.
But Senator Rand Paul objected to having a vote because the bill increases spending.
Well, you know what? I think the country's worth a debate till 3 in the morning.
Much to the frustration of other senators.
So, the senator from Kentucky, by objecting to the unanimous consent request, will effectively shut down the federal government for no real reason.
That's exactly what happened at midnight. But Senator Paul can only stall so long, according to Senate rules.
Anybody at home getting a bonus or an increase in your paycheck of 21%, and yet your government's going to spend 21% more without really having a full debate.
The Senate is expected to vote and pass this bill around 3 a.m. That's despite Paul's objection that this deal raises spending caps by $300 billion over the next 2 years. A majority of that is for defense spending.
For months now, we have been working to get our military the resources it needs to keep the peace. This budget agreement delivers on that commitment.
The bill would fund the government through March 23rd while raising the debt ceiling and setting spending caps for the next 2 years. But even after the Senate approves this, the House will need to vote in the early morning hours.
So you will vote for it? No, I won't.
And the House is where Democrats may object to the bill for still not addressing the immigration problem of what to do with so-called dreamers. In Washington, I'm Natasha Chen.
The stock market may just have fired off a warning shot to the federal government about their plans to blow up the size of the deficit. Wall Street's volatility comes just as President Donald Trump and Congress are working on a budget deal that could leave a $1 trillion hole. Stocks struggled to stabilize much of the day as investors sent prices climbing, then slumping in unsteady trading. The market's wild swings ended with an afternoon rally, sending the Dow Jones Industrial Average 330 points higher. One analyst says even though the market has been out of control, the U.S. economy is strong.
You know what? All things are pointing to a super strong economy. Interest rates are going to rise gently, selling into strength. Unemployment numbers are at a low. Wage growth, infrastructure, tax reform, all these things are super positive things for the economy. So the market rallied. Let's be clear. The anomaly is not the fact that we've sold off for 5 days. The anomaly is the fact that we were up for 400 days. So that is a function of a good, solid economy.
Even with the rebound, this was the worst week for the market in about 2 years. Now here's a look at how the market closed today.
Good evening, and we are looking at a weather weekend ahead. Rain chances are in the forecast. We'll talk about that and more up next on Newswatch.
I don't mind saying it.
Now you look like an astronaut.
My dream is to walk on the moon.
2, 1.
Look at this place.
It's a crazy design.
It's nearly impossible.
What is the next step toward furthering our presence in the cosmos?
That was something.
Oh, this is incredible.
Very, very scary.
Reality is always more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
We're literally on the cutting edge.
Unreal.
How's it going, everybody? I am Nick Niehaus, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Be sure to keep up with us all season long. We have action to cover, and all 18 teams of ours are ready to ball out. We will have action for you on Twitter, Facebook, and even Snapchat, so make sure to always be on the lookout. Our shows are only once a week, but the action is almost every day. So make sure to keep up with our YouTube channel to see nightly recaps with our 2 online hosts. We will be your guide through the crazy world of Tri-Valley Conference basketball, so be sure to stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Hari Srinivasan from the PBS NewsHour.
And I'm Mark Brewer from WOUB.
Join me on PBS NewsHour and PBS NewsHour Weekend for the latest news and analysis of the issues that matter most to you.
Weeknights at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 right here on WOUB Public Media.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Adriana Davies, and right now in Athens we're looking at 46 degrees, which is relatively above average for this time of the year. A warmer evening ahead with a mix of sun and clouds until that sun sets, with winds from the south at 0 to 5 miles an hour. Today we saw 48 as our high, where the normal for this time of the year is 35, so we're sitting well above average, definitely not reaching 68 just yet, but hopefully those temperatures are on the way. As for tonight in Athens, 38 degrees is our low, 40 down in Ironton, and 35 up in Newark. There is a slight chance for rain, but those chances will increase into tomorrow, so we'll just see clouds for this evening tonight. Mostly cloudy skies by 8 p.m. By midnight, we'll see 40 degrees and clouds increasing, and by 4 a.m. 40 degrees as well. Taking a look at the precipcast for tonight, you can see nothing sitting over our area just yet, but wait till tomorrow. There is a whole mess of things that comes with a cold front that will move through, bringing a ton of rain with it. The Athens area is projected to see upwards of 2 inches of rain from Saturday morning into Sunday evening. So that is Saturday night tomorrow. We can see some of that freezing rain up in the Columbus, Cleveland area as well. Hopefully temperatures will stay a little bit above freezing here, so we won't see that freezing rain just yet, but that front will stall, just dumping tons of rain on the Athens and the WOB viewing area. Now for some of the area, they are under a flood watch. Athens is not affected by that just yet, but you can see the massive amount of counties over in West Virginia. We can see all of these green, and that means flood watch. So what that warning or that watch means for our area is up to 2 inches of rain in 24 hours. So keep that in mind when you're driving. If you're out, turn around, don't drown. That's what us meteorologists love to say. Please keep yourself safe. Do not drive through standing water. That just makes a whole danger for everyone. Saturday, that rain will start. It will go through Sunday. 2 inches are possible. Again, turn around, don't drown, keep yourself safe. As for our hour by hour tomorrow, by 8 a.m. there's a slight chance for rain. We'll see those increase as we move throughout the evening. 4 p.m. we're looking at 43 degrees with that rain chance for everyone. Our Saturday highs, 50 in Athens, 54 down in Ironton, and 46 over in Newark. Rain for everyone. We're looking at a relatively busy weather week ahead. There's a chance for rain into Sunday as well. Monday we'll see that kind of carry over, but relatively nice temperatures as well. Look at Thursday. We're looking at 58 degrees. I know I'm very excited for beautiful weather like that, Abby. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous by the end of next week. We just really need to get through this weekend. I know it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, Adrienne, it sounds like a wet weekend. Hopefully people can stay dry.
Hopefully.
Now, listen to this. An Illinois high school is seeing double and triple. New Trier High School in Winnetka, Illinois has 44 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets, and it's a world record for the sophomore class. Karen Jordan reports.
Anytime we have twins, we always give parents an option whether they want to have their kids in the same class or not. So I think that it no longer becomes that much of an option.
I just don't think that being a triplet is very different to twin. There's just one extra, you know, it's a sister and she's right by your side.
That was Karen Jordan. Some factors for the number of twins could be maternal age and access to fertility treatments. Now let's head over to Nick to see what's coming up in sports.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Orsini. Tonight in sports, it's time for the world to unite for the Winter Olympics. Find out what events are coming up this weekend. Plus, one Nelsonville York star had a chance to etch her name into the record books for the Buckeyes. Find out if she was successful next on Newswatch. And remember to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Going on, Hardwood Heroes fans, I am your host, Nick Niehaus. We are the authority on all things Tri-Valley Conference, and we have all the content you need. Be sure to stay tuned across all of our platforms so you never miss any of the action.
I can't feel my face anymore.
You're doing good. You're just a little slow.
Welcome to madness.
I'm expecting the unexpected.
The chicken feet really put me in a foul mood.
Join us for Family Ingredients Season 2.
Show me your mayonnaise, and I'll tell you who you are.
I can't wait to have a taste.
Now that's crispy.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, president of PBS. I'd like to tell you about a terrific new membership benefit called PBS Passport. With a qualifying donation, Passport brings more than 1,000 hours of great PBS and local programming to your computer, phone, or digital media player. You can catch up on shows you may have missed or revisit some of your favorites. The best part is that you can watch whenever you want. When you make your qualifying donation, you'll help to make all of the programs you love on this station possible, so don't delay. I know that you're going to love PBS Passport, so please make that donation right now. And thank you for your support.
The world unites for 16 days in Pyeongchang, South Korea for the Winter Olympics. 135 men and 109 women make up the 244 Americans representing the United States. Tonight's opening ceremony kicks off at 8 p.m. Four-time Olympian Aaron Hamlin gets the honor of carrying the U.S. flag at the opening ceremony. Tomorrow's events include the biathlon, cross-country skiing, short track, ski jumping, and speed skating. And for the first time since 1994, NHL players will not play for the United States. The U.S. plays their first game on Wednesday, the 14th, against Slovenia. Puck drop is set for 7:10 a.m. Senior night. It is a big night for any high school, but especially for the Nelsonville York Lady Buckeyes and star Jessie Addis. They had the chance to make it even more special. Addis came into the game against Alexander needing 22 points to set an all-time scoring record, not only for the girls, but also for the boys. Alexander double-teamed Addis all game, making the task that much more difficult. The Lady Spartans spoiled the night with a 58-47 victory, and Addis finished just 3 points shy of breaking the record, scoring 19 points. Addis gets her next chance to set the record next Thursday against Crooksville. A big weekend ahead for Ohio athletics as track and field and both women's and men's basketball teams hit the road. The track and field are competing at the Marshall Invitation today, and tomorrow travel up to Kent for the Kent State qualifier. The women are coming off a crushing 74-72 loss to Central Michigan. They travel north to face the Kent State Golden Flashes. The men also travel north to face the Western Michigan Broncos. Losers of 5 of their last 7 games, the Bobcats have 4 of their last 7 games on the road. One day after a massive shakeup in the Cavs roster, the Cavs hit the hardwood against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. With the players acquired by Cleveland, not all are expected to be available. The Cavs starting lineup is expected to be LeBron, J.R. Smith, Jose Calderon, Tristan Thompson, and J.D. Osman. It is the 3rd game in 4 days for the Cavs, and the Cavs lost 116-98 in Orlando Tuesday, but bounced back with a 138 overtime victory over Minnesota, with LeBron James hitting a buzzer beater. Tip-off is set for 7:30 inside the Phillips Arena. Switching to the ice, the Columbus Blue Jackets face a familiar foe tonight in the Washington Capitals. The two faced off against each other Tuesday night in Columbus, with the Capitals prevailing 3-2. Nicholas Backstrom scored with 43 seconds left, earning the win and his 200th career goal. Columbus has lost 4 straight and now hit the road for their next 3 of 4 games. The Blue Jackets enter tonight the last spot in the wild card, and puck drop is set for top of the hour inside the Verizon Center. Abby, I'm so excited for the Olympics. As you know, February is a big day outside of the Olympics, but we also have Valentine's Day coming up.
Yeah, it's an exciting month. Valentine's Day is next week, and a Cincinnati hospital is making the holiday special for their patients. For the last few years, the hospital has been getting digital Valentine's Day cards from the community. They're printed at the hospital due to concerns over exposure, and word spread quickly when a Kentucky teen sent out a tweet. The hospital says from the thousands of cards they received, some of the names on them were familiar. Cincinnati athletes were among those sending digital messages, including some members from FC Cincinnati, the city's pro soccer team. Adriana, can we get a final look at our weekend weather?
Of course, Abby. 38 tonight is our low. Cloudy skies, and that is above average for this time of the year still. A light wind, and we will see all around cloudy skies until that rain starts to set in tomorrow. 48 as our high. Still a little bit warmer than we've been seeing. Flooding is possible as well. Winds from the south, it's 0 to 5 miles an hour, so it will be a nasty day ahead. Taking a look at the weekend ahead, though, still the same story. Some ugly days to come. Saturday, our high is 48 degrees. By Saturday night, we're looking at 34 degrees, and it is going to just rain, and it's going to dump a lot of rain, and even when it's not raining, it's going to be a light rain. By Sunday, we're looking at 45 degrees. 45 degrees, 80% chance of rain, and that rain is just going to continue throughout the weekend. I know, Abby, I am just so not excited for this weekend. It's going to be so nasty outside. Nick, I know you're looking forward to golf season already, but that's not here just yet.
Maybe people can stay in and watch the opening ceremony.
I cannot wait to watch the Pro-Am this weekend. I'm so excited. I love golf season.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Abby Grisey. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.